it's Mrs. Rivera. I'm going to show you how to complete the activity for today. So this is all about Memorial Day, and we're going to read a nonfiction book, which means it's a real story about Memorial Day. It's a real holiday that we're celebrating on Monday, on May 25th. And what we're going to do is we're going to listen to the story and then you're going to complete this activity sheet. Okay? So, what you're going to be looking for are three facts that you learned, three things that you learned that are true from the book. Okay? And you're going to fill them in here. Then, and I'll make a text box for you. It'll look like this. And you can type right in here. I'm going to make it red so you can see it. That's where you're going to be able to type, okay? And I'll definitely have them all ready for you when I have the work up, just like this, okay? Then you're going to think about two questions that you still have after reading this book. Maybe you have some more questions about Memorial Day that you want answered. So you're going to put them here. Two questions. So that means that when you write them, they should end with a question mark, okay? And the last part is one opinion that you have now. So an opinion, remember, is what you think. So now that you know a little bit about Memorial Day, what do you think about it? What do you think about what people do for Memorial Day? Any kind of opinion, anything that you are thinking about Memorial Day. Okay, so three facts, two questions, and one opinion of what you think. Okay, so I'm going to read you the story now. It's called Celebrating Holidays, Memorial Day. And notice that we always see a table of contents when we read nonfiction stories because they're real and we don't have to read the whole entire book. Sometimes we might be looking for a certain thing, so we might want to only pick, one thing to read about, but we're going to go through it. Memorial Day is here. Families gather at a cemetery. They lay flowers on military graves. So people who die or pass away that were in the military, those are the soldiers and the people who fought for the freedoms in our country. The people who were in the military that died, we like to lay flowers for them and flags to show respect and to show thank you for fighting for our country. A bugler plays taps while people stand quietly. It is Memorial Day. So this person plays the bugle, which is this instrument, and they play it for Memorial Day, and people just listen quietly. Oops, there we go. What is Memorial Day? Memorial Day honors the fallen soldiers of the United States. So like I said, those are the people who passed away, who we remember and we honor. And you see how they put all the flags for all of those people? People remember their sacrifice. For many, it also marks the start of summer. So people remember how much they gave up and what they did for us. And they're very thankful and they show that they're thankful. And we also know that Memorial Day starts our summer. A lot of people open their pool for Memorial Day, or they have Memorial Day parties. See how they have cupcakes and barbecues. And a lot of people like to have big barbecues and celebrate for Memorial Day because it also shows that it's the beginning of summer. Whoops. Okay. Who celebrates Memorial Day? Well, people in the United States celebrate Memorial Day, so that's all of us. Other countries may also honor U.S. troops who died on their land. So this is in France. It's a different country. And they celebrate for all the people or the soldiers that have died that died in France, but they were from the United States. Memorial Day beginnings. Memorial Day began in Waterloo, New York in 1866. So it actually started in the state that we live. We live in New York, right? Waterloo is here. Long Island or East Northport is over here. So the first Memorial Day was in New York a long, long time ago. It honored those who died in the Civil War. That was a big war, and here's like a picture of it. A big war that happened when two different people were fighting, and the holiday was called Decoration Day. So they didn't always call it Memorial Day. They first called it Decoration Day. Decoration Day was celebrated every May 30th for many years. But wait a second. Memorial Day isn't May 30th this year, it's May 25th. So you see how sometimes the holiday might change a little bit, and it did. People later began remembering all fallen soldiers on this day. So in 1899, this is how they celebrated Decoration Day, and you see, look at all those flowers. It was renamed Memorial Day in 1967. So that's when they decided, you know what, we're not going to call it Decoration Day anymore. We're going to call it Memorial Day. Time to celebrate. Memorial Day now falls on the last Monday in May. So that's why we got that. Schools close to respect veterans. A veteran is a person who served in our military or our war, went to war and things like that. Many businesses also close for this important day. Now, we're not in school right now because of the coronavirus, but if we were going to school like we normally do, we would have off this day. So we do have off on Memorial Day. There's no Google Meets on Memorial Day because we still want to honor this day. It is still a holiday. Memorial Day traditions. Now remember, like for Christmas, a lot of you might have the tradition of opening gifts under the Christmas tree, or you might have a tradition of celebrating Halloween by dressing up in a costume. Now, a tradition for Memorial Day, it says, people decorate military graves with flags and flowers. We saw that in the beginning. American flags fly at half staff until noon. So when people hang up the flags outside, like especially the one that's outside of our school, um, they put the flag. They don't put the flag all the way up to the top on Memorial Day. They only put it halfway, and that shows a respect for Memorial Day too. Many people take a moment of silence at 3 o'clock. So at 3 o'clock on Memorial Day, everybody or a lot of people will sit and be quiet for a couple of minutes just to think about all the people who fought for our country. So just a nice thing to do. Some buy red cloth poppies on this day. That's what it is right here. This thing on his shirt. They wear the flowers to remember lives lost in service. The sales help veterans, so they sell these pins to put on, and the money actually goes to the veterans, the people who are still alive, who have fought in our wars for us and have joined in the army and in the navy and in the military. Okay, so that's a way that they make money to give to those people. So you can see Memorial Day is a very important day to celebrate. People gather to celebrate freedom on Memorial Day. Some grill food or go to the beach. See how I told you about the barbecues? And families watch soldiers march in parades. They remember those who died for the United States. So just like for St. Patrick's Day and for Thanksgiving, we always see these big parades. They also have a parade for Memorial Day. And you notice how all the soldiers are wearing the same uniforms, the same things? Okay, so we are finished with the book. So if you want to go back to this story, you can, if you are hooked up to your Get Epic account, you can look up this book and go back into the story yourself, or you can use my video to go back into the video. But remember, after you are finished reading that book with me, you're going to come back here and you're going to write 3 things you learned about Memorial Day, 2 questions you have, and 1 opinion. What do you think about Memorial Day? Okay, so if you need help, you can always send me a message. All right, happy Memorial Day.